And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in on a pretty good roll here, winners of 3 straight.
And they had it easy last week. They jumped out to an early lead and then put it on cruise control from there.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. At a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
Well, they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Von Miller not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here. And this is going to be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And it's fielded at the 34. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, That's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Here's Coleman on the toss. Uses the stiff arm. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. A gain of 3, second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Coleman now, and he'll fight his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a third and about 5.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Blue 45.
From the gun on third down, Mahomes. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll run it with Coleman. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. So the decision to go for it turns out to be a good one. They get a couple of yards, and as a result, the drive keeps moving. It's now 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Tevin Coleman with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Elliott now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They run a draw here on 2nd down. He takes this for 3 to the 29. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Patriot. All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Back to throw. He's going to flip one out here with his running back. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Here we go now.
First carry for Royce Freeman. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down in his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
319.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
False start, offense.
Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9.
Hurry up, here we go.
They'll set up to throw. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the 2nd quarter, it has been a struggle.
Set. Green, 39.
He'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And they are on the board, trailing now at 6-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
They begin the drive with Coleman. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Coleman. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll toss it to Coleman. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That's a football play right there. That takes me back a little bit. Toss sweep to the right. Get it to your back. Get a lot of people out in front. Control the line of scrimmage. Wide receivers blocking downfield. It almost feels like half the crowd is in front of him, getting it down to the secondary. They have a tough time getting him down.
Mahomes now on first down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Now Mahomes throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
And now the incomplete as well.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And coming out now, the Broncos. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see blitz coming, and down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he hits his target, Deshaun Hamilton. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
He'll drop to throw. He's going to loft one deep left into a double team, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now back to throw. Incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
The Broncos on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10.
All right, here we go.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is fielded at the 27. Look at the dance and the juke. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. On the stop that time, it was Josie Jewell.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll be taken down at the 34. Shaquille Barrett in on the tackle.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Working from the gun, Mahomes.
No!
Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this 1st half.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Well, they were handed great starting field position on this drive, but now they face a 3rd and 4.
Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And his kick is absolutely perfect. So we... All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime.
About a bitch.
So also here in this third quarter as the kick's away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Black 58 rail. Black 58 rail.
Now Mahomes on the bootleg.
What the? Hold the fuck out of
Broncos, it's a sack.
All right.
We are seeing 2 really confident defenses imposing their
Fucking
will
up,
on
Coach.
these
Can't
offenses
lose
in
these
this
goddamn
game.
Broncos.
Absolutely going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses
And the
can...
Cowboys just lost to these
Is there
bitches.
any
Come
way
on,
they can
man.
find something that can
Fuck
pop,
you
something
doing?
big to knock them back on their heels?
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. The open man is sharp. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Defensively, they just lost him. He was waving his arms saying, and they found it.
Yeah, and it's so interesting about when a receiver starts to wave his arms because some guys, right off the line of scrimmage, they declare themselves open. You know, those guys throw the one arm up, hit me right now. In this case, he was so wide open that he was frantically trying to get his attention to make sure he got the football. And then I'm sure his only thought when the ball was in the air, don't drop it. Had too much time to think.
On second down, here's Mahomes. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. That one goes for 24 yards.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
This is Coleman. Even with the good move he showed, he'll be brought down short of the 15. Bradley Roby, the quarterback, there to make the stop.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's in the cornerback position.
Mahomes to throw.
Get in there.
And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
This is your area
in the red zone. In your hometown of Orlando, Florida, an absolute mess. And that is caught. It's Aguilar for the Eagle touchdown. Nelson Aguilar, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Yeah, he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
From the gun, it's Mahomes. And he will step out of bounds. Oh, what a mistake there. And the two-point try will be unsuccessful. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
Looking at the other side first, I thought they were going to be too covered.
If you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know in the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secure before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done. When the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. He'll find Sutton on the right side complete. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They run a draw here on 2nd down, and very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Back to that Philly. Here we go.
They'll drop to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone. And now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage. And, again, that second score here in the 3rd quarter.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Ace! Ace! Slow!
Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down.
Oh,
and the
fuck.
Broncos get there and take him down.
Damn it.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. He's gonna wind up and air it out. out. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
Get it. Oh!
Yeah, he was looking for the check-up bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Fletcher Cox there for the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Freeman again. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted a 1/3 of their opportunities, 3 for 9. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. He'll look to throw, and that is incomplete.
I have to say that was a surprise call on 3rd and inches. I thought they'd try and run the football there, but you got to believe they thought they'd surprise the defense and pick up something downfield, but that one goes incomplete.
It's Freeman. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. He only needed a yard, but he couldn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense, and they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right.
Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold it.
He trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Well, we'll see what his offense can do. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling almost on the...
He rifles one that's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick six TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead now stands at 13. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Man. And Denver getting set to take the field.
They're in trouble now because we know they got to throw to come back. So they're in some serious trouble.
Here we go now.
After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Looking sideline, incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact
right throw.
Trouble. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it.
Hurry up, here we go. 3.
They run a draw here on second down. And he'll get about
that's
6.
The only chance they're going to have. We'll give you that all day.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to him back.
The Broncos on third down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 4.
3-19.
Looking to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Sutton. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
They'll look to throw here. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Back to throw. That'll be caught right side by Hamilton. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And a short gain here, down to the 22. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing is Mahomes on third. And this is going to be incomplete. Bradley Roby there defensively. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will swell the lead to 16. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying,
that's some bullshit, man. That is some straight up bullshit.
Go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what
my man died way out.
Come on, computer. Into the game that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Avante.
What did it bounce off?
And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
It bounced off of something. His foot.
Deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big
turnover. He's back.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it.
Oh, good. We'll
but
take
as you
that.
noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. He juked him, space to maneuver at the 40, and finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. Going for the deep ball. That's going to be caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A big play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can...
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Wow.
Adrian Amos with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Yeah, buddy.
They're trying to get done in the passing game.
Yeah, he's having a monster year, man. This week 5, and he's got like
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Then against
8 picks. I don't even know.
Against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct.
It's crazy.
Now Philadelphia
Please
ready
press.
to get going
Please
on
press,
offense
but no.
again.
Yeah,
they have the
up.
big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good
They're
that
just trying to still going to get ready to get burnt.
every team has
Be
a
prepared,
goal
man.
when they start the year to win at home. All right?
Dude,
And
get the
sometimes you
fuck
don't
off
know
of me.
But they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same.
Damn.
It's familiar. You feel right going into the game. And they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages.
Fucked up the whole goddamn
Now they'll run it on
shebang.
the toss. Spinning away, and he'll be brought down just shy of the 45.
Fucked up the whole
And
shebang.
now
Bang.
prior to this 3rd and
Bang.
1, we're going to get a timeout
I
here.
wasn't even thinking
It's
about
just
no
their
first
first.
down.
They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
They
The
might-
Eagles on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd
Fucked
and
up
1.
the whole shebang,
They
boing.
will run again with Coleman. And an alley to run. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
They won't drop them safeties, man.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. And before the second
Come
down
on, drop
play,
them
we'll get a
safeties
whistle,
for
a
a brother,
signal, and a
please. Just
timeout.
one time.
That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside.
They won't do it.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup
Good
there,
time
and
to
now it's
spike the
3rd
ball.
down.
Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
And the spike comes with 9 seconds
Yeah,
left
do
to
we
go.
want to kick a field goal from here? Can we do that? A 54-yarder.
And they won't run a play here, no victory formation. They will indeed try to get 3 more. This from 54 yards away.
No, we can't make that. We'll take the penalty and just go for it. Go for a touchdown.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5.
Shut up, crowd.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Broncos.
Oh, that was 4th down.
So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying,
tripping.
oh, wow.
I get another down.
Insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of it. That's just who they are.
Get this game over.
Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Get your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for the Eagles, they boost their record up to a strong 4-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers come to town. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll be at home for one next week against the Oakland Raiders. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
you